So
No product placement, right? Boom.
there you go. I like that. All right. Welcome to Man of Faith, man. We got Emmanuel. You know my boy Emmanuel. My boys out here, of course. You got what you got? What you got going on, man?
We got a concert on September 8th. It's Smith Soul Bar, Midtown, Atlanta.
All right.
Famed Smith Soul Bar. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that. It is a local venue that has broken a lot of rock and roll acts in particular. It's one of those local venues that is like, integral to the history, the culture of the city. So we're very privileged and blessed to be able to perform there on September 8th. So.
Man, I'd like to have a little sample of it, man. So I could, add it to the,
That's the next podcast.
Yeah. Okay. So that means we got to bring the crowd to the concert so they could get the sample a little bit. Yeah.
So what inspired you?
That is an existential, loaded question. I'll try to be as concise as possible. I started writing when I was 12. I'm 36 now, so you do the math, right? I started rhyming. Oddly enough, I had a buddy of mine. It's middle school, so you're very impressionable, Yeah. So it's one of those, like, my homeboy was doing something and I wanted to do it too. So he said, man, I started rhyming. It was one of those, like, well, what'd you do at for summer break,
Yeah.
Like, I started rhyming, and I was like, okay, cool, damn, And I love Tupac. He was my favorite artist at the time. I was like, damn, you started rapping like Tupac? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, let me try that. You know what I mean? So, I started writing my little rhymes at 12, and I was like, wow, this is empowering, And I just kind of fell in love with it ever since. It was an outlet for me to convey and just bring forth, like, my creative juices, my experiences.
You know the difference between me and you, man. All right, so we have a lot of similarities. You know what I'm saying? We got the same age, came from the same place in New York. You know what I'm saying?
Same turf, Brooklyn,
same
baby.
turf. You know what I'm saying? And we Haitian.
We both Haitian kings.
And Haitian kings, but the difference between me and you, I don't know if your parents were the same, but my parents kept me away from rap music.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
You opened up Pandora's box.
Yes, sir. Like, they kept me away from Haitian music.
From rap music.
Rap music.
We had enough of Haitian music.
Yeah.
That's so interesting you brought that up, bro. So, and I think this is a unique topic that a lot of people are not aware of. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to add a caveat.
Let's go.
We're millennials. We're of age to have kids. You know what I'm saying? So, potentially, millennial Haitians could potentially be raising their kids in a different fashion at this point.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
True. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so it may be a lot different. Presumably, a millennial Haitian parents in Miami are
Can't
more
be
than
too
willing.
far off, though.
Yes and no. Who knows,
and no.
right?
Yes and no.
I can still see them letting them listen to what's buddy from Miami called Haitian cat. Kodak, you know what I'm saying? I can see
Kodak.
Right? I can see a millennial Haitian, parent saying, it's okay if you listen to that. Who knows?
Okay.
For those who don't know, when we were coming up in the 90s, we're talking old school Haitian parents, okay? And rap was emblematic of a subculture of people that traditional Haitian parents did not want their kids emulating.
That man seemed like it was demonic. Like, it was like,
straight up. They called them bums.
Yes.
See, that wasn't rehearsed, by the way. You see that?
Yeah, that wasn't rehearsed.
Struck a nerve.
Yeah.
So, like, do you get creative with your music? Like, do you incorporate some Haitian?
I do now. That's a dope question. I do now.
I always ask people, like, why don't you incorporate that? Because I feel like that's kind of introducing people that's not used to compa or whatever to the Haitian culture.
I
you know
agree.
What I'm saying?
I agree.
So
that's an awesome question.
Yeah, very awesome question. Because I listen to people like Jason Derulo that's trying to do it, but people don't. Have you seen a sample of what he tried to do?
It's funny you say that. I just realized he was Haitian like a few years ago.
Damn, yeah.
Okay, he see that's to show you.
Yeah, he's
Are you
Haitian.
serious?
Yes.
So that's to show you he's. Look, you know, you are who you are. You don't have to scream it from the mountaintops. You know what I mean?
Right.
Identity is a sacred thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, no one had to ask if Wyclef was Haitian. You dig what I'm saying? Like you knew that.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And shout out to Wyclef. Like he is legit. He laid out the blueprint creatively, and he laid out the blueprint as far as how to market your culture, irrespective of what culture it is. He laid out the blueprint on how to integrate it with hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So big up to Clef.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't heard any Jason Derulo stuff with him trying to incorporate.
That's the crazy
you
part.
haven't?
I didn't listen to none of his stuff until he did that little sample where he incorporated Haitian music into whatever he was doing.
So he did attempt something.
He did attempt something, and like I'm probably gonna have to add that clip on there, but it sounded real good, man.
It did?
What?
Wow,
Really
I got
good.
set up. I thought he was gonna say it sounded terrible.
No, it sounded really good.
Okay.
Man, and I'm just like, man, why don't more people do that? Like my cousin Alex, Flex, I call him Flex. That's his rapper name, Flex A1. He's a rapper up in Broward County in Florida, and I'm always asking him like, yo, why don't you try to do like Haitian, bro? Incorporate that into your music.
In Southern Florida, of all places too.
Southern Florida, like Fort Lauderdale. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, look, you have so many people that's trying to do what you're doing. Do something different. You know what I'm saying? Because be creative. And he's creative no matter what. But at the end of the day, when you put that in there, people gonna be looking at you in a different light.
Two different like audiences, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like fan bases. Like, you're gonna get the regular people who like the rap, and then you're gonna get the people who like Haitian music.
Right.
You know, old school people.
People are afraid of that. People are afraid of that, like, because they think, oh, it's too soft, or you trying to, no.
And this is a great segue to a phenomenon that we are in the middle of at the moment. The explosion, right before our eyes, of Nigerian music. Okay? So this is a great segue. Now, here's the thing. I'm a fan of all genres of music. As a sociology major in college, I was kind of like bred and cultivated to see the beauty and have a natural curiosity for all cultures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I say that to say Nigeria winning is a win for art in general. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that when you talk about, bear with me for a second, when you talk about creative genres of music that was originated by Negro people, particularly from West Africa, that derivatives from West Africa. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Caribbean was at the forefront. When you talk about Jamaican dancehall music in the 90s, we came up, aside from Haitian music, if you grew up in New York City in the 90s, it was Jamaican dancehall music.
Yeah, Jamaican dancehall, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that was an integral part.
Let's say record. All right, I just wanted to make sure because
Okay,
we getting some good stuff right there. But yeah, man, because that's really what I grew up on.
That's the thing, y'all talking about New York, man. I've never been to New York. I want to go up there and just check it out. I'm sure it's different from the 90s, but I'm sure that that vibe's still up there. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
That's what hip hop started.
It's there, but I feel like it's kind of dying out. I mean, I haven't been there to experience it, but I feel like it's kind of dying out to a certain extent because now, like you said, you got Nigerians, but I feel like the whole African nation, to me, is taking over when it comes to that genre of music. Like Jamaicans they don't have a lot of people to carry their music for them.
It seems like dancehall in particular has kind of like slipped a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing about like genres of music slipping. You could say the same thing about rock and roll. What was the
That's
last
true.
rock band? You know what I'm saying? That everyone was going crazy for. I can't remember the last one.
Cause cause hell, like if it was popping, you could, like all types of race would be like, oh man, you heard this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you remember what it was like. Now these guys are not rock and roll. Let's lay this out here. But like when the Backstreet Boys were hot, you know what I'm saying? It didn't matter if you weren't checking for that type of music. Yeah. You knew they were hot.
You knew they were hot. Yeah, 98 Degrees, people like that. Yeah.
Perfect example. So Linkin Park is actually a rock band.
Linkin Park.
We knew when they were hot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We haven't had anything like that since. You know what I mean? So it's not just dance. So there are other genres of music that, for whatever people's tastes change. Yeah. But hip hop has weathered the storm.
They're changing with the world, man. They're changing with everything that's going on. Like
very much so.
The situational stuff, like the things that's going on that we have issues with, and people are silent about. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but we might need another volume to tackle those issues, those societal maladies,
Yeah, I feel like they're changing with that, and when stuff like that is going on, we don't notice everything else around it that's changing. We talking about music. That's one of the things that's changing. Relationships, marriage.
Men and women dynamics.
Yeah,
men and women dynamics. I love it. Yes.
Don't get me started on that.
Hey, we were just on that conversation just the other day.
Were we?
How women act when it comes to jobs and.
Do y'all feel like music is the umbrella to everything? Like as far as
it is
changing how society is
to a certain extent though.
Music is gonna sound cliche, but look at it like this: music legit is the soundtrack to our lives. And that it's like a pun in a weird way, you know what I'm saying? But like no pun intended. But legit, music is a soundtrack to your life. I worked in a nursing home when I first graduated from high school, and one of the things we were taught with Alzheimer's patients, one of the best ways to jog their memories is to play music that was, as Haitians would say, à la mode, music that was popular at the time during their youth. This is sad, and I pray one day we find a cure for all types of dementia. But there are times where they wouldn't remember a loved one, but they could recite lyrics from a record that was hot their junior year in high school.
Yeah.
Damn.
You tell me music's not powerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, music, I wouldn't, as powerful as music is, I wouldn't say music directly sets the tone for how we conduct ourselves necessarily. It's kind of like this like feedback loop where it's like music feeds off of what is going on in the streets.
Back to what I said.
And then the music kind of like gives us like a blueprint of how to move in the streets.
Yeah.
So, but it's like a chicken and the egg thing. You know what I mean?
Whether it be rap, whether it be rock,
correct,
whether it be country,
right.
Whether it be whatever.
Correct.
It's feeding off of what we got going on
as humans.
Humans.
Yeah.
Yes.
The human experience. So.
With that being said, like. Alright, so let me kind of go off topic, but in a deeper route.
Though we were deep.
Oh yeah, right. But relationships, men and women, like. Alright, so what a lot of men don't speak on is how the toxicness between men and women, and the fact that they don't handle our woman well enough to keep them around. Now we don't deal with that type of stuff, but all right. So I have a recent friend that's got a certain situation going on. I'm not gonna name names, of course. That's not me. I don't name drop.
Right.
But recently, I had to come to realization that he got some demonic stuff going on with him. That You know what I'm saying? Like from the time I met him up until the time up until now, he's not the same person.
Okay.
Like when it comes to anger, issues and the stuff that he got going on. Like his woman never saw it from. She saw the signs in the beginning, but now it's like, oh my God, I'm scared of him now.
Wow. Do they have kids?
No.
They live together?
They did.
Okay.
But you know what they had going on kind of just
imploded?
Yeah.
Okay. Because of his
Yeah.
seemingly like devilish or satanic behavior? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Like I feel like a lot of men don't speak on that type of stuff because they're embarrassed. But you know, a lot of what's going on in the world influences that stuff unconsciously. Music, stuff that you watching,
Media.
stuff that you listening to, and it makes a kind of bad judgment in your head to the point where you don't even know where it's coming from when you're acting the way you're acting. You know what I mean? And then now your woman is sitting around thinking it's her, but it's not her. It's you as an individual not taking accountability for yourself.
I concur.
You know,
Concur. Yeah.
and it kind of sucks because I'm one to talk because I was there at some point. You know what I'm saying? I was that man that you know showed my woman that type of anger, and I was abusing. You know what I'm saying? Verbally abusing. You know what I'm saying? Not physically, but verbally.
Okay.
And I feel like a lot of men don't speak on that because they're scared of what type of light they're gonna be shown on them. Now, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like it's the world that influences, like, you know, what's going on in this world? Like, is influencing that type of behavior? What do you feel like about that?
So we're at a unique juncture right now in Western society. I can't speak for the rest of the world. I'm going to use the U.S. as my frame of reference, right? We're at a unique juncture right now where women are out. Women are killing men in a lot of realms.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start off with education. Women are outnumbering men on college campuses now. Okay. Women are excelling professionally in ways that we have not seen before, right? The glass ceiling still exists, but the glass ceiling is like a quarter of an inch thick at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we're like a year or two away from the glass ceiling being like shattered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing to watch. I grew up in a matriarchal family. I personally am not intimidated by strong-willed women.
Me neither.
I think it's awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of tight-knit families are that way because of the efforts of women. Women are beautiful, they're unique, they're strong, they're courageous, etc. You know what I mean? What's happening in contemporary times, though, men are receding into the background. A lot of men, contemporary men, are fragile. They're dealing with a lot of personal hiccups, inferiority, regret, confusion. A lot of men are not done growing before they start having kids and creating families. So what happens is you're supposed to be the leader of your tribe, but you're not done growing, right? There's still elements of your life you're like, damn, I didn't fully explore that. Oh man, I still left meat on the bone. You see what I'm saying? But you're a dad now, you're a husband now. So in a weird way, like your time is up in a weird way. Like you have to focus now on your family. You see what I'm saying? But so that being said, you have a lot of men who walk around frustrated and they're angry inside, internally, and because they didn't hit their full potential. You see what I'm saying? And who do you take it out on?
Your woman,
Your family. They're the closest to you. We hurt the people closest to us. You know what I'm saying? Remember we like as kids we'd watch these sitcoms and whatnot. The fathers seem so grumpy. The men are always grumpy. You know what I mean? It's because they're disenchanted with how their lives turn out.
You got me.
Times.
Good, yeah, that's what exactly what I was about to say.
James,
Good Times, Jefferson's, the Cosby's. You know what I'm saying? Like
Bill Cosby actually was not.
No,
he was not grumpy.
You're right.
He was very fulfilled.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes.
But a lot of that was the quintessential sitcom dad. Most of them, like 8 out of 10, were grumpy and just, this costs too much, and you're eating all the food, and they're riding me at work, and that's because, bro, there's certain transitions in the human timeline. Like there's certain steps we make. If you make them prematurely, if you take them prematurely, particularly when men, we're kind of like little boys. You know what I'm saying? So you take those steps prematurely, and the people that you're supposed to be leading, they wind up suffering because you're not emotionally ready to lead.
Especially if they didn't have a father.
I feel like
that compounds it.
I feel like
raise a son to be a dad or a man.
Yeah,
that compounds it.
I feel like within both men and women, there's always that little boy or little girl in them that's still surviving. Yeah, but guys are always gonna want to show that more than women would.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But I hate to say it like this, but women that are weaker than some, they tend to show that little girl syndrome more, and than certain people. And if you don't treat that little girl with kindness and love and all that, you're not gonna help her blossom to what she needs to be. Whereas the ones that are in touch with that little girl syndrome inside of them, they're the ones that, I'm a boss, and, you know what I'm saying? Like, and next thing you know, it could go either way. Like, you're having terrible relationships, or they're like, they're leading the man in the right direction.
In the right or wrong direction?
Right direction. The ones that have leading the man in the wrong direction are the ones that I feel like, to me, are toxic relationships.
Well, listen to what you just said, right? A woman should be leading you in any direction. You know what I'm saying? And I strongly believe that.
Me too.
A lot of women would listen to this and they wouldn't combat me. They wouldn't refute what I just said.
No. But there are some that would.
There are some that would, but they're in the minority. Because if you really peel the layers back and you ask a woman, like, again, not controlled. That's not what we're talking about here. Do you want a man who is strong enough to lead?
Speaking of,
they're gonna say, what woman's gonna say no? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I feel like a lot of people should just go to therapy, like, before they get into that adulthood. Like a counselor.
But I feel like therapy could help you to a certain extent. You still got to be in touch with yourself, and as a person, therapy can't do that. I ain't cutting nothing up. Go ahead, speak, woman.
And
go ahead, tell me.
No bias. Obviously, my lady is a therapist. She's studying
she
to be
sure
one.
is.
Right. So no bias. I will concede this, and I haven't gone to therapy as an adult. As a child, I went, but it wasn't on my own volition. Therapy is powerful.
Yeah.
Something like this, for it to last this long, it there's no way it isn't. You know what I'm saying? It helps people.
Yeah, it does.
But to your point, and we can marry the two. To your point, eventually, you have to leave the office and you have to implement these strategies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I believe that. Yeah.
So it's a marriage of both worlds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like that. Everybody does.
It should be a free thing.
It's a bunch of adults still got childhood.
But America's gonna find a way to make that money off.
Well, there are companies out there now. I'll give our society this, because it's a capitalist society. So everything is fundamentally, the baseline is the bottom line. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like there's levels to what you're saying.
There are. What I was gonna say was, I'll concede that there are corporations now who actually provide therapy and mental health awareness as part of their employment packages. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't have this 40 years ago. This is a relatively new thing. So we're progressing in the right direction as far as mental health awareness. You know what I mean? We still have a long way to go.
We just
though.
got a long way to go.
Right.
You know what's hard though? Coming from where we coming from, as bad as we want it, we can't even get that for our parents.
Ooh, is another can of worms.
You know what I'm saying? Like for a guy, I mean, I wrote a book on this. You know what I'm saying? And I wrote a book based off my experience with my parents. I don't think I'm gonna publish it at this point. I don't know. I'm just, this is me talking.
What?
Cause there's no ending.
I was looking at you, babe, like, what?
I know. There's no, cause my family, cause my situation changed over time. From the dynamic of where I was going with my book up until how I reconciled with my father.
Okay.
I feel like I got the understanding that I got from learning about him. I got to switch it in my book because I was going the wrong way. You know what I'm
Were
saying?
you being led by anger?
That's exactly it. Wow.
I was being led by anger.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't make what I was saying wrong.
I was about to say, it doesn't negate how you were feeling.
No.
You can continue building on the story.
That's what I meant to. I guess that's what I meant to
Switch
say.
the
I switch the narrative. I need to build on it.
Okay.
So that's why I haven't published it yet.
Oh, got you.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you had published it, it would
would
have been
have
very
perceived-
premature.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Got
yes.
Got you.
But it does hurt me a lot knowing that now we got this whole mental awareness going on. That, I mean, think about it like this: would you go to your parents and be like, "Hey, go see a therapist"? You know what they would say.
No, because it's exclusively because of cultural constraints.
Yeah.
And so I have to concede, I have to admit this, like the whole endeavor of seeking therapy is uniquely Western. Western meaning the US, Canada, Great Britain.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
It's uniquely Western. It's not just relegated to Haitian or Caribbean culture.
Yeah.
Virtually every culture outside of the West, therapy is not a thing. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So that being said, if you and I happen to be Mongolian, it would have been the same narrative. We can't approach our parents about therapy because it's incongruent with our culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things are changing a bit, but you can't just like reshuffle culture in 20 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You know. And look, they're now at our age, we can concede. You know, you're a father.
Yeah.
You're a husband, devoted father. We can. By the way, man, proud of you, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Hats off to you, man.
Appreciate it,
Yeah,
man.
because
Appreciate it.
man, it's a lot. I'm not even a father or husband yet, but I know it's a lot.
Yeah.
And to stay there and to see it through, man.
Yeah.
A lot of the
Whereas
issues.
Haitian fathers, I can't say it, like a lot of Haitian fathers. We know the stereotypes that they give the Haitian fathers.
Yes, but it's not just them.
It's not just them.
It's a lot of men.
It's a lot of men.
They're wounded and they're hurt and they're not emotionally ready to lead a tribe, so they run out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a phenomenon that has befallen men in general. Now, Haitian fathers, there is a stigma, but again, we would really be wilding if we assumed that it was just Haitian fathers.
Yeah, we
right?
would. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
society's biggest malady, society's biggest issue. This is my theory, with no data to support it. This is just off observational experience, if you will.
Right.
If we were to completely eradicate the issue of fathers leaving their families, right?
Yeah.
Single mothers having to lead tribes, right?
Yeah.
If we were able to eradicate that, I strongly believe 70% of the issues that we experience, the negative in our society,
Yeah.
would completely fall to the wayside.
Yeah. I believe that.
The
yeah.
overwhelming majority of men in prison grew up in single mother households.
Mm.
What does that tell you?
Yeah. You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue. So when I see a father who's still involved, even if you're not in the household, but you're involved, you know what I mean, and you're making an intentional effort. I have a lot of respect and admiration for that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Even when the baby mom tries her best to try to stop you from being there with your kid, I still respect them to at least attempt to be there. You know?
And that's an issue. I don't have I have no experience with that. I would imagine that would be immensely frustrating. Yeah, what do you do? Like I'm completely ignorant. Like I reserve judgment because I don't have experience in that realm, right? I mean, I would imagine that would just be, again, immensely frustrating. You want to be involved in your kids' lives, but the mother of your children or child, you and her are just not. You're not congruent with your sensibilities. Like
you gotta go to court to see your prodigy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go to court.
Which is, I feel like this is a systematic thing with America, man, and you know, based off the culture that I'm coming from, we don't live off systematic rituals like, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't do all that, but. We having to deal with that type of stuff with our mothers, baby moms, and
but just to we touched base on the last time we talked about baby moms and stuff. But shout out to the women that we're with right now. You know what I'm saying? The wives
that's important.
Kids with
that's important.
Yeah,
makes it good for us to be there with our children with them. You know what I'm saying? Because now we have a chance to do that.
Yeah, we do.
Like, I appreciate it, man. Shout out to our wives, man, for real.
Yeah, cause I mean, like, shoot,
it's not all bad.
It's not all bad. No.
Our wives is the GOAT, man. They definitely hold down the fort. Even when we don't deserve them, they here for us.
That's refreshing to hear, man.
Because we could sit here just be mourning over whatever we got going on with our last.
The positive
stuff.
Yeah, that's the positivity that we gotta feed into.
I got 3 daughters with my wife.
Okay.
She's 6 months old today.
Congrats.
Then the middle one is 4 and the other one is 5. And they're my world. So I definitely appreciate my wife for even just being there with me for 8 years and making this fatherhood as special as it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate it.
How long have you been married?
6 years, November 17th.
Okay. Wow.
6 years.
I feel like that's where we come in, where we have to implement some type of structure in our daughter's life. I say, yeah, we got sons, but in our daughters' lives, where we don't want them to experience the type of experience that we had with their moms or whatever, because. Man, it's gonna hurt them, bro. It's gonna hurt us in turn to see them hurting when it comes to that type of stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like, so when it comes to us, what we doing with our wives, you know what I'm saying, showing them a happy home, it's gonna show them that there is some type of opportunity for that. You know what I mean? And like, I got 2 daughters, man, and like one of them is experiencing a non-happy home, like. No dad in the house, and it sucks because when she comes around me, she feels like her world is filled. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And like my daughter here, she's experiencing all that, and I feel like daughter and mommy issues come both ways, even if you have them, if you don't.
Okay.
Because when you do have them, it's still issues. I still got my issues.
You said mother and daughter issues?
Yeah, no, all right. So, even sons and daughters, even if the mom and dad is in their lives, they still got some type of issues that probably is close to equivalent to the ones that don't have their mom and dad.
Okay. Well, to live is to. I hate to sound super pessimistic, but to live is to suffer in some regard, right? So like, Man, I tell you, man, I'm a bar guy. I'm going somewhere with this.
All right, come on.
All right. So I'm not a club guy. You know, even despite the fact that I'm an artist, you know, I'm not a club guy.
Yeah,
I'm
me
more
neither.
so, you know, if I'm gonna unwind, I'll go to my favorite bar. I will go to a lounge, but my go-to is like a bar where you could just like legit kick it with somebody and just like shoot the shit.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah,
honestly, you know what I mean. There's a lot of fronting in clubs, you know.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway,
that's another
I've had these
subject,
conversations at some of these bars, man. Specifically, like in the Kennesaw, Woodstock area. You know, my favorite bars in those two cities. Shout out.
Yeah.
And I'm conversing with these guys, man. They come from well-to-do backgrounds, oftentimes, right? And it's interesting to hear the strife that they go through. Okay, yeah, your dad was a stockbroker, and you know you were well-to-do, and your mother was an accountant. You know what I mean? But when I'm conversing with these guys, even last night, you know, I was at the bar in Kennesaw Highlands. Shout out to you. You know?
Oh man, okay. Old camping grounds for me right there. Yeah.
I gave you a free shout out. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And
old stomping grounds right there.
You know, I'm conversing, man, and you know, you're listening, and you're like, okay, yeah, he didn't come up in a single parent household, you know. Perhaps like utilities weren't cut off, but there was strife nevertheless.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He didn't connect with his dad. His dad wasn't emotionally vulnerable. All of these things, you know. And so, it's also, that being said, it's also imperative. Oftentimes we wallow in our own experiences. It's almost like this pissing contest of like, nah, you ain't have it this rough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Gotta stop that.
I agree.
Yeah,
You know what I
I've
mean?
had those conversations.
Gotta stop that. What contest is a contest of suffering? That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A billionaire is going to have emotional tumult. Just like
a
homeless man will. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of rich people in the industry who have committed suicide due to unhappiness, stress.
Yes, bro. Because
You
to
know what
live
I'm
is to
saying?
suffer. You know what I mean? The human experience is fluid. You know what I mean?
It kind of brings a perspective on how, like, you know, you got rich folks that would probably kill themselves, and you got others over here that's like, yo, I wish I had all that type of money. If I had all that type of money, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be happy. How do you know you would be happy?
Who was the purse designer? The woman who passed away a few years ago? Kate Spade?
Kate Spade.
Spade. Yeah.
I didn't know much about her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I couldn't help when news broke. I couldn't help but sit back and think, my God, what did she know that I don't know because I'm on the outside looking in? You know what I mean? Irrespective of whether or not she was, you know, she's a different gender, but it doesn't matter. Like, she was a wealthy individual who reached the apex of what we all as middle class people aspire to be. Right? For her to say, I'm out, I'm checking out. What did she see on the other side that you know?
There's cousins that I have in Philly that's like that, man.
Romantic relationship, seasonal. You know, you were in love with this person for, you know, a certain amount of years. People change. It's over. Yeah, you know, seasonal connections. You know,
cool.
It's part of life. It is cool.
I
Like,
was talking to my guy right there earlier, just telling him about how been cool with these guys for over 20+ years. You know, all they do is gossip. You know, talk bad about people. It's like, man, you know, even if the season was just 20 years, season up. You know what I'm saying?
damn.
And you know what? Like,
it's a long season, but
It is a long season.
it sucks to put it that way, man. But it could happen with us. It really could happen with us.
It could.
Cause
Particularly when you have kids,
Right.
You're
moving. You named it. You just pointed it out. It's happening with one of my boys right now.
Okay.
We talked about.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's happening with one of my boys right now. And like, we've been friends way longer than me and you have been friends. But he got his shit going on, whereas I got mine going on right here. Who am I to get mad at that? You know what I'm saying? Who am I to get, like, you have your family, you growing your family. I can't get mad at what you got going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I never hear from you, I'll be like, oh damn, that was my boy. But at the end of the day, that's what it is.
Right.
But at the same time, like, you know, I was talking about this with somebody, and they was saying, like, give people flowers while they're here.
Yeah.
You know, check on people, even if we don't talk.
We don't talk. Yeah.
Just a random check on, hey, how you doing? Take 5 seconds. Good. All right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Show them that you still like in their circle. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
I feel like I feel like society, the way society we think for the moment, and we get angry about the moment. We get angry with what's not happening now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what gets us into the emotions of, oh my God, he's not hitting me up. But 2 days later, you're not thinking about that. 5 years later, you're not thinking about that. You might think about it, but at the end of the day, like, you think about the moment, and like, later on, when that moment is gone, you back to whatever you got going on or whatever.
Let's not be prisoners of the moment.
Prison.
Not get swept up by the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. I used to call my baby mama
Right there.
POV.
What that mean?
Prisoner of some. Damn.
W words.
Huh? POW. Prisoner of words.
Prisoner of words.
She used to keep her. She used to be prisoner in her mind of certain things that she was thinking of.
It's not even happening.
That's not even happening. Like, yo,
Assumptions.
look, bro, just live for them. Like, you know, I believe in
give me an
living.
example. That's
She would be all right. So let's say I'm upset about the fact that you're not calling me,
okay.
but I'm sitting here in prison in my mind, just thinking about that,
Okay.
and just thinking, I'm just mad, but I'm never gonna express it to you.
Oh.
But I'm just mad about it.
Okay.
Later on, that moment is gone. You're not even thinking about it. If I'm talking to you, I never thought I was mad at you,
Is she? But like still holding on to it.
but
though?
still holding on to it. You know what I'm saying? Prisoner of words, POW. That's what I thought I used to call her. How you read that? I like that.
It is a
Silent
silent
killer because stress,
Yeah.
that creates stress, and then in your mind, and then whatever you think in your mind is powerful, and that can just kill you silently because it's a silent killer.
And that's what's killing our relationship silently to where we're not seeing eye to eye with our kids. But that's another subject. That's another subject. That's another subject.
That is a silent.
Yeah, man. Not to bounce all over the place, but I want to ask more so about the music stuff, man.
No doubt.
Yeah, let's get back to that. Let's get back to that.
So,
Yeah.
like, music wise, you only got like one show coming up, or you got like a whole kind of like.
Right now, one show coming up, and that's on September 8th at Smith's Old Bar.
That's my sister's birthday, so it can't be forgotten.
Yeah, we doing cross marketing.
Yeah.
As far as right now, like that's the only show we got lined up at the moment. But we are in the process of. So let me start from the beginning. The show is actually a part of a tour that we're doing. It's called the Expansion Tour, and the premise of the Expansion Tour is to expand. You see what I'm saying? So the name of the label is called Curriculum Global Media, and we pride ourselves on implementing cultures across the globe, incorporating it with our music. We specifically cater to educated artists, so college and university educated artists who are doing music. This is the spot to be,
What's
right?
your
Okay.
Instagram page?
Curriculum Global. On IG, curriculumglobal.com. Want to check us out? We actually got applications to fill out. If you're an artist, we specifically catered the label to educated artists because there's this like dichotomy where it's like, damn, I'm a student, but I do music, but it's like two different things.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be two different
Yeah.
things. You know what I mean? Like, who is just one thing in his life? You know what I'm saying? But for some reason with education and arts, we're bred to believe like, yo, you either doing one or the other.
Yeah.
You don't have to do one or the other. You know what I mean? You're not just a father. You're a father, you're a husband, you're a son, you're a friend, etc.
Brother,
You know what I mean?
all that, yeah.
Right. So we're multi-dimensional people So we that is the premise of QGM, Curriculum Global Media. We celebrate multi-dimensional artists. You know what I mean? And so the expansion tour is us primarily doing shows in cities that have a real like strong footprint, if you will, with universities, colleges. So the next show is going to be in Knoxville.
Nice.
And after that, going up to Athens. You know what I mean? I haven't booked any shows after that.
Look at you, man.
Well,
I'm proud of you, man.
but
You've
I'm
been
working
doing
on
your
it.
thing,
I'm
bro.
working on it. I'm working on
You've
it.
been
I'm
doing your
working on it.
thing, man.
Working on it. Yeah. So and again, it's not we still work with other artists. It's not just university or college educated artists, but that's primarily the model. You know what I mean? Because they've been left out. You know, it's either you the trap rapper, and like that's all. You know, labels are like that's all we're looking for. Some stoned out motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I've created a platform to say, hey, look, you're a computer science major and you rhyme. Come rock with us. I got a spot for you. We're gonna celebrate your artistry and we're gonna celebrate your academic accomplishments.
That's only got 1 minute.
You know, so we created that niche. You know, so that's what it is. So the expansion tour, volume 2. Our first show was June 15th, and our next show is September 8th. And so we have some incredible artists on the bill. Myself, Manoli Fuego, Olympia Papa Giorgio,
Yes, sir.
Queenie La Soul, Garcia Vega, B Rob, and Greg B Scott. So yeah.
What's up, man?
Well, check my boy out. You know what I'm saying? Drop your Instagram one more time for him.
Manoli Fuego on IG, and you can check out the label Curriculum Global.
All right. Hey, that's Man of Faith, man. Please check us out. We got our merch out. My site is down, but I'll let y'all know on the next podcast, hopefully soon. All right. Man of Faith, we signing out. 1.